that's that.
All right.
Anything before I talk about my
We have a
soapbox?
new member, Roy Robbins.
Oh, congrats.
Welcome to the team or the crew.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. All right. So this week, I think we talked of seeing this out on the forums quite a bit for when it comes to your EVs, but also it's going to start relating to other models as well. If you did see the title, you saw that. What did I say? BlueCruise or not to BlueCruise? That is the question, right? Yeah. And I thought this was good because last week I went on a conference and I flew out of Kansas City and I drove from Salina to Kansas City with the F-150 Lightning using BlueCruise on the way to the airport. Well, this week we drove in the Expedition to the airport. It does not have BlueCruise, but it has adaptive cruise control with lane centering. So it got me to thinking this morning. I'm like, well, which is better? So let me do this slide real quick first. So we did hear now Ford is now charging $2,100 for BlueCruise activation for 3 years if you get it ahead of time, or if you don't, a lot of the Mach-E's aren't coming with BlueCruise, so then you have to either do the pre-sign up for $2,100 for 3 years, or you can pay on a yearly and it's $800 a year. So the question is BlueCruise worth $800 a year? I was gonna do the math. What's the math on that? Get the calculator out.
Can't do that in your head?
No, I'm not going to try to on live video here. So $800, somebody's going to do it before I even get to it. $66 a month. Is it worth $66 a month to you?
No.
That's the question. So for me, it is not. So here's the deal. So kind of the difference between adaptive cruise control. So adaptive cruise control is going to adapt that cruise from the vehicle in front of you, right? And with the lane, if they have the lane centering, which a lot of the newer ones do, it keeps you in the center of your lane, right? So you don't go over. It's going to actually keep you in the center there. What I like about the lane centering is you can take your hands off the steering wheel for 15 seconds. I timed it. So you have 15 seconds. You can take the hands off the steering wheel completely, right? And then you just have to kind of move it just a little bit so it knows that you're still participating. So you have that. BlueCruise, you have to have your eyes on the road, and you only get 5 seconds to look away, and then you're back. So I could actually be in a vehicle with adaptive cruise, and we look it over for 20 seconds and just do this with the steering wheel a little bit. You can't see it. Just move the steering wheel a little bit and still be looking away, and it'll keep going. Whereas BlueCruise is going to warn you and then slow you down if you don't look back on the road.
Yeah.
Now, I watch the road. I'm not saying that I do that, but I'm saying for the convenience, I've heard a lot of people say they'd rather have adaptive cruise with lane centering than BlueCruise because of that fact that, they can just, do that, and they can actually do more while driving, eat or whatever. BlueCruise is nice. I will say I do like it. And the new BlueCruise 1.2 that's on the Mach-E does include a couple other features, and one of them I do like, and that's the repositioning in your lane. So if you do have a big truck right there, even with the lane centering, it might keep you kind of by that, and you're like feeling a little uncomfortable and you kind of want to force it over. It will reposition you over. So that is a nice benefit, but is it worth $66 a month extra? Of course, it's not just that. It's the other features too. Also gives you where you can use your turn signal to switch lanes, and it switches lanes for you, which to me, that's not a big deal. I mean, I'm like, switch the lane, do the steering wheel.
Although if someone's there, is it going to stop you?
It won't let you go over, from what I understand.
Yeah.
From what I understand, somebody's tested this. Tom from Inside EV, he actually has tested it. He says it works really well, and it doesn't just slow you down. It actually speeds up like you would. It actually changes lanes like you would.
So we had this happen several times on our trip. We have an Explorer that was loaned out to us from McArthur to put on the show field. We drove it here. The bliss is not working correctly at all. So, and also the lane centering or lane keeping with the aid and everything, it's not working at all.
Is it activated? Is it turned on?
We activated it multiple times. We tried activating, then turning off the car, then turning it back on. It doesn't work at all. So it lets you go out of the line, and it keeps you there. It won't alert you. It won't aid. Nothing.
So when you say the bliss isn't working, that means it's not putting a light in the corner of the mirror.
Sometimes. With our truck, we have bliss on our truck. I've also had bliss in my Maverick, and we have it in the C-Max. It tells you before it gets too close. Like if you're getting over and you're in a lane, it tells you if someone is a little bit behind you, so you're not shoving in front of them. It's not doing that. It is waiting until that car is past your bumper before lighting up.
I don't know.
So for me,
I thought maybe it wasn't activated.
For me, I check. Well, there's a blind spot. I have a blind spot. That blind spot, I usually rely on Bliss to tell me if someone's there. And Lebo does the same thing. Well, within the first hour, I about ran into someone because my Bliss wasn't working correctly. It didn't tell me they were my blind spot.
I don't know. Most of them work really well.
Most of them do.
So,
I think there's something wrong with this programming.
I haven't been in a Ford vehicle yet that the Bliss wasn't working.
I think there's something wrong with the programming.
Could be a bad sensor too.
It
relies on those sensors. So
it does.
If the sensor's been whacked, hit, put out of position, it's not going to work right.
Okay. So there might be something wrong with this specific system. But we also have a couple of other. I'm going to talk about that too with you later. But
yeah. So anyway, yes, I mean, $66 a month, as much as I drive on the highway, it probably isn't worth it.
No.
If you're a daily commuter and you were driving on the highway all the time, I could possibly see it. But again, $66 a month. You know, $66 a month. That's getting up there. That's pretty pricey. I will say on the select trim of the Mach-E, it was $1,900 to pre-purchase the BlueCruise for 3 years. So it only went up $200. And I will tell you this, the other vehicles went down in price. So the standard range went down $4,000. The cream and the extended ranges went down $1,000. So, but what I have a problem with is they only went down $1,000, but yet they're taking away BlueCruise and making you pay $2,100. So really, the way I think about it, it actually went up $1,000.
Yeah. So Volt said it might be good for them to think about having a weekly or monthly subscription for when you're taking long trips. Like you plan on like a 22-hour trip. I would like to have that for the week.
I mean, I like that idea. Now you probably could sign up and then cancel.
Probably.
More likely. But yes, I like that. A one-time monthly. Hey, I'm going, like this month, I went to the airport three times in the month of May, right? So let me sign up for the month of May. I know I'm going to be driving a lot in May.
Yeah.
Then let me sign up for it. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what are your guys' thoughts? So you can post them in there. Also, let's do the questions too at the same time.
Rev Nation says they give you the same thing in the Nissan Ariya for free.
Well, they used to do that on the Mach-E for free.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay, so here's the way it was, if I remember right, when I did the order guide, was the Select was the only one that came with a 3-month trial, and then you had to either prepay or purchase. The other trims, though, Premium, GT, California Route 1, those all came with BlueCruise for 3 years. You didn't have to pay ahead of time. It was included. I think what's going to happen to Ford is I think a lot of people are going to say no. And Ford is really saying, hey, we have all these BlueCruise miles. They're going to lose it.
Yeah.
I think what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to be upset about having to pay for it now and not being included. That what they'll do is they're going to have then they're going to have less BlueCruise miles. They're going to have to. What I see they're doing is doing some sort of Ford Pass thing, or doing something to discount it, or doing some deal when they see that people are not signing up for it. They're going to have to do some sort of sweeten the deal to get people to sign up, because if you did like $20 a month or something, I might be in. Heck, on the Bronco, I got the Bronco with the mid package, so I got 3 months of the navigation, and then after that to pay a monthly subscription.
Yeah.
I didn't sign up. I'm like, Android Auto.
Exactly.
Right? So I didn't sign up. So I got a feeling it's going to happen with some of these customers are going to go, you know what? Nah, I'm not going to, or whatever. So they're going to have to come up with some sort of discount package or something, or start including it. But BlueCruise is available not just in your EVs, in case you didn't know this. So it's on the Mach-E, it's on the Lightning, but it's also, you can go on an F-150, you can get BlueCruise on your, I think, Lariat and above. Also on the Expedition Platinum, it's available. Now I can get on another soapbox for that. So why not provide BlueCruise or adaptive cruise on all trim levels? Make the trim level that it's a trim level. It's not a feature level. So make these packages, make the adaptive cruise package, the Copilot 360 Assist or 2.0 Assist, make that available on all trim levels. I think BlueCruise shouldn't be only available for those people that can afford it, because that's basically what they're doing right now. F-150, you can get it on Lariat and above. So basically, if you can't afford an $80,000 F-150, you can't have BlueCruise, folks. So that's not right. That, to me, that could be a safety feature.
Yeah.
Why make it to where you only the people that have the money can get it, right? The same way with the Bliss and such. Bliss should be standard. I think the adaptive cruise with the lane centering should also, to me, that's a safety thing.
Yes.
It'd have a lot less Ford vehicles getting in accidents if they would include the adaptive cruise with lane centering, because it really helps you stay in your lane. I mean, shoot. I mean, my dad, he might be watching in. You know, his Lariat, he's got it all. He's got the lane centering. He's got the active. He doesn't have the BlueCruise, but he's got all that stuff. And I feel a lot safer putting my dad and my wife, and family in a vehicle that has those technologies. Anyway.
All right.
I think I'm done with soapbox.
Ragnarcon says, I feel like am I the only one who doesn't give a who about BlueCruise? But maybe that's just my Northeast talking, since we have actual mass transit options here. If I don't want to drive, I'll just take the train.
Yes, point. So I have 3 different versions. So my Bronco has cruise control.
Yes.
The Expedition has the adaptive cruise with lane centering, and then the F-150 Lightning has BlueCruise. So I have all 3, and I drive all 3, and it's not a big deal on either one. I don't choose my vehicle because actually I did once. I actually did take the Lightning the last trip because I'm like, well, it's got BlueCruise.
Well, the last time when we went to New York, you were like, we're taking this because of BlueCruise.
So yeah, but also,
again, that's a trip.
Yes, but also I wouldn't have taken it in the wintertime because of the bad experience we had. I couldn't get to the Kansas City airport and then and get on a charger or whatever. But if I can't get a charger at an airport, then I wouldn't do it. So I mean, I've been lucky. The last 2 times that I've driven it, I've been able to get on a charger at the airport. But otherwise, anyway, but normally I don't just choose my vehicle. I mean, I took the Bronco on the one before this because, I enjoy driving it. That the cruise or the adaptive cruise isn't gonna make or break it for me.
Yeah.
So.
All right.